So this is a video review for the latest parts that have come for the 2021 Yamaha Superjet from Riva Racing. In this video, I'm going to be talking about and installing the new free flow exhaust that deletes the resonator and also their aluminum ride plate. I don't have an intake grate or an impeller yet, so those are going to be big limiting factors, but as I get those parts, I'll make more videos and talk about how they individually affect the handling of the ski. The clip playing right now is before I install the new parts, just as a little baseline, but then I'll show how I installed them and talk about what I noticed about the differences in the handling of the ski. I want to give a huge thanks to Riva Racing for having these parts ready for the new ski so soon, and also to JetPilot for keeping me warm so that I can make these videos in December. So the mail truck just came and brought us some new toys from Riva, and the one that I'm most excited about is the free-flowing exhaust hose for the new Superjet. As always with pretty much anything from Riva, this is amazing quality. 5-ply reinforced silicone hose, which is actually way more than what comes on this stock, and is also way less than what comes on this stock because we don't have to use the resonator anymore, so it should improve the sound of it and also give us a little bit more power with the appropriate tune. So removing the stock resonator was super easy. All it was 2 hose clamps, one at the exit of the water box and the other where the resonator connects to the exit pipe. And then there was also just the one strap across the front, and it pulled out pretty easily.
Ouch! Only a little bit. Just like that.
So now that the resonator is out, there's this one more rubber piece back here that I couldn't originally get to the hose clamp with the resonator in there. So now once that is out, I'll be ready to install the new hose.
Sure is nice working on new equipment that's nice and clean.
I'll need this one and this one here. And it's as simple as the fitment is really good. It fit on there nice and tight, but did not take much. From there, all I had to do was tighten up the 2 hose clamps that I had stolen from the stock setup, and it was ready to fire up and see how it sounds.
So it idles at about 73-ish and revs up to 91 top.
After that, the ride plate was just 4 easy bolts that I made sure to put Loctite on before I installed them. So while I've got both of these ride plates off, I think it's a really good chance to have a comparison between the two. And the first thing that I notice is that the Riva ride plate has this pretty sizable skeg on it, which we really have not seen for any modern skis, but apart from that, it's also got chines on either side that are so deep and vertical that they're basically the skegs themselves. So I think we'll see a lot of grip out of this plate from those, as well as a more severe rocker on the rear of it. The other thing that really stands out to me, and I find as a big surprise, is that it appears that the Riva ride plate is just a little bit shorter than the stock one. Not by much, but usually with aftermarket plates you see them longer. So just like the stock ride plate, the Riva ride plate is just cast aluminum, but it's also got this thick powder coat on it, so I think it'll last a really long time and continue to look good even though we're usually riding in salt water over here. I think I've been talking enough though, so I'm going to go ahead and bolt it on.
Well, at first impression, it doesn't seem any louder with that Riva pipe on there. I honestly can't tell any different sound. Yeah. So yeah, it is throatier without the resonator on there.
Throatier is right. While the Riva exhaust didn't make the ski any louder as far as I could tell, the engine noise sounded much more raw and preserved the deep rumble that I love from a 3-cylinder engine. It wasn't nearly as offensive to the ears as the straight exhaust pipe in my ProForce 2.0, which has the same engine, which I think a lot of people will be thankful for. It's obvious that the water box is performing an important task in making this ski acceptable for riding in more populated areas. The resonator, however, seemed to have no purpose other than changing the noise to what I can only describe as being more like an appliance than a jet ski. I couldn't tell just by riding if I had gained any performance from the engine by making the swap to the Riva exhaust, but there are other choke points like the exhaust stinger baffle and the intake ribbon that would need to be removed to benefit from the increase in flow. In the future, I also want to remove the water box to see if there is any performance to be had there, but that won't be happening today. Even after hard riding, the hose didn't get hot at all, and judging by the materials used for the stock resonator and its hoses, this thicker hose should hold up for a really long time. As for the ride plate, I think it was exactly what I was expecting from Riva, and that is a high quality, durable plate with friendly and predictable handling characteristics that are much sportier than what Yamaha offers from the factory. The biggest change that I noticed was that the swap eliminated the tendency for the tail of the ski to lose traction. With the stock ride plate, attempting to turn too hard would sometimes result in a pretty violent 180 that would clean anyone's clock. But with the Riva ride plate, I didn't feel any tendency towards that at all. The ski still behaved best when kept relatively flat like before, but I think that's mostly due to its tendency to draw air when leaned over too far. The biggest limiting factor with the handling now is definitely the intake grate and impeller. I was having to pay a lot of attention to keep the pump loaded up the entire time that I was doing these runs, which meant I didn't really get to find the limit of the grip that the ride plate has to offer. Once Riva starts shipping out their intake grates though, I think that problem will pretty quickly be solved, as the stock intake grate looks terrible for handling at speed. While it was pretty smooth out while I was testing, the ski didn't even seem to notice what chop I could find even in the turns, which was no big surprise. I also took some time to practice starts because from my experience, shorter ride plates don't keep the nose down enough for my taste, but with a ski this heavy, it wasn't too much of a problem. Again, the limiting factor here was the impeller cavitating slightly off of takeoff. That being said, I hope that Riva comes out with a more aggressive ride plate in the future, ideally a little bit longer, and maybe with some relief holes for extra rear grip. For the time being though, this one is awesome, and I know it'll work great for anyone that rides it. And I can't wait to get it in some other conditions and see how it behaves in some sketchier stuff. As always, I'm really impressed with what Riva has brought to the table here. As one of the biggest performance and handling parts companies in the business, they continually hit the nail on the head. The exhaust hose and ride plate that I tested today hold true to Riva's model of offering effective bolt-on parts that don't sacrifice reliability or rideability. I know once I have their full suite of parts that I'm going to wish that was how the ski came from the factory, and in a few years I think it'll be pretty hard to find a Superjet that doesn't have at least one of their parts. Thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for more videos about the new Superjet and other skis in my fleet, and also keep shredding.